What is the single greatest threat to economic advancement in Black America today? And is it structural, is it cultural, or is it policy driven?
There is no single greatest threat when it comes to Black folks.
Okay.
There's no single greatest threat.
That's not true. There is. Our single greatest threat is ourselves, our own culture, our own rappers or musicians for that matter. Our own rappers are talking about drugs, violence. Even with R&B, all they talk about is sex. Our family unit is suffering tremendously. We're not even getting married anymore. You know, women are just prioritizing career over marriage. So they're becoming the most educated people in the United States, but they're also having the most kids out of wedlock. Not a lot of people like to talk about this, but Black women get way more abortions than any other race of women in the United States. So we are our own greatest enemies. Today, I just saw a video of a dude lose his life over a diamond chain. Like that doesn't happen in other communities, man. At least not at the rates that it's happening with us. And we can't even have conversations like this and be honest with ourselves, because once you start holding other Black people accountable and start saying these uncomfortable truths, they start calling you Uncle Tom or a coon or whatever else they can think of, whatever other derogatory terms that are in their mind.
I think that we have a myriad of issues that we have been inundated by, we have been exacerbated by, and we don't have the luxury of identifying one thing. To your point, to your question, we have a trichotomy by which we have to deal with.
Okay, thank you. Brandon or Gothics?
To be honest, I agree that I don't think it's a singular issue, but I would say that I can trace a lot of the problems economically in the Black community back to having a lack of direction and a lack of identity. And I think within the Black community, people on a cultural level tend to handle their money in ways that aren't actually good for building wealth. And so personally, I think if you have some structure and you have a worldview that points in one singular direction, you're going to see a betterment in the economy, I think.
Yeah, I'd like to add to that by saying that when you look at the single most issue, I think it has to be culture. Because everybody that's honest with themselves know, and I'm not saying every Black person, because when I talk about the Black community, I'm not talking about Black people as a whole. I'm talking about communities that are predominantly Black. Because there's Black people all over the country that live in different communities that have a different mindset. But these communities that are primarily Black populated, when I was growing up, and I think I can speak for a lot of other people, there was no value placed in credit score. There was no value placed in investments. And a lot of times we were taught that we don't have a place in America, that we are not equal to anyone else. If you go to a bank, you won't get a loan. As if there's this perpetual state of Black people being held down by the system to where Black people didn't even activate on things that they had the potential to activate on. So most of
That's true. I'll be honest. Most Black people that I speak to, it's never about real estate. It's never about, stock investments. It's never about job opportunities. It's never about credit score. It's never about marriage. It's never about any of those things. A lot of times, that's why people think that I hang out with white people more because, I just love white people. No, to be honest with you, I enjoy the conversations that white people have more than I enjoy the conversations that Black people have. And I'm not saying that there aren't Black people out there that can have all of these conversations. It's just I don't come across them often. It's very, very rare. It's far and few between. I just resonate more with talking about things that are positive, things that are going to be building in my life, So he's definitely right, man. I never hear in the Black community, I never really hear these types of conversations. If you do, they're whispers compared to the loud shouts of people talking about basketball and people talking about the new rap song that just dropped and how this person did such and such and how Glorilla is just got a BBL or whatever the hell else,
it is culture, the culture of violence. When I was a police officer and I patrolled in white neighborhoods, poor neighborhoods, and patrolled in Black neighborhoods that were poor, there's a big difference between poor white, poor Black. And one of the differences is violence. I do not know of a gang of Crips and Bloods in the white community. I'm just being honest. There's no Crips and Bloods in the white community. If you go to Chicago, Illinois, and you looked at the shootings that occurred over the 4th of July weekend, I'm talking 40, 50 people shot, 20 people killed. In Philly, drive-by shooting with 15 people, I think, were seriously injured, a few of them killed. You don't see this same type of violence in white neighborhoods. And that is a cultural phenomenon that I think hurts black communities a lot.
Thank you, Brandon. Okay, so I see.
And the worst thing is we can't even be honest about this. I guarantee you there's going to be people, and I bet you there were people that got in the comments as soon as this video dropped and typed in there calling him all types of names.
I cannot name one white gang.
Hell's Angels,
No, that's like the Crips and the Bloods.
neo-Nazis marching in Nashville,
And
Tennessee.
where do you see the murder rate in a neo-Nazi group? I ain't never seen a neo-Nazi a day in my life.
They're marching in Nashville, Tennessee all the time.
And where's the violence? Who have they killed? Show me a murder statistic of the neo-Nazis. Okay, that's what I thought. Let's talk about the violence in gang. Let's talk about the gang violence. Are we willing to lie about the issue in the black community of gang violence? These young dudes, let's look at the music. You look at rap music. We got a thing called drill music, where young brothers are rapping about murders that they are committing.
That's facts, man. People was worshiping King Von, and he was a demon, bro. He was walking around. He was a literal modern day serial killer. He was a modern day serial killer, and he became a multimillionaire. He became basically revered. People were going to his concerts, rapping his lyrics, talking about how he killed such and such, and these are true lyrics half the time. He wasn't just making it up like a lot of these rappers. That's what makes it way more sinister, is the fact that the words that he was rapping were real, and every young kid wants to be like those artists because they think it's cool to have a name for yourself. And even if you got to do it by talking about killing people and stealing from people and selling drugs and treating women like objects, that's our community, bro. We the ones that talk about that and support it. But yeah, man, y'all go ahead and let me know what you thought about this video in the comment section. I'll leave the video linked in the description so you can go check out the entire thing. I skipped around quite a bit, but yeah, man, don't forget to hit the like button and to subscribe to the channel before you leave. I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace.